Hey guys, MLJOR here, back with more Black Ops Cold War content. And today, we're going to be doing another DMR loadout, this time for the M16. And even though it's not a traditional DMR, it's still a tactical rifle nonetheless. And just in time for the open cross-play beta. As with all of these DMR loadouts, a quick disclaimer, this is a very time-sensitive video. And if you're catching this video late, my sincere apologies, because this will only apply to the beta, as weapon balance and attachment stats are all subject to change, and probably will by the time the game releases on November 13th. A quick announcement, by the time that this video goes live, I'll be streaming the beta right here on YouTube. I will also be giving away a copy of Black Ops Cold War Cross-Gen Edition. If you want in, it's simple. Follow me over on Twitch and sub to the YouTube channel. Also, be in the stream on Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when we're doing the giveaway. But enough talk. Let's get into the loadout. As always, there are three things that I look for in a DMR. That is reliability, accuracy, and speed. But first, we're going to look at the base stats for this weapon. The M16 has a fire rate of 909 rounds per minute. But this is within the burst. You will still get a burst delay of 0.233 seconds, so keep that in mind. Looking at the damages, the M16 does 50 damage, which is perfect, considering that it is a 3-round burst, and 50 times 3 equals 150 damage, all you need to kill the enemy player. Now, this damage is only going to be good for up to 25 meters. After that, you'll need a second burst to secure the kill, making this gun a 1 to 2 burst, with an incredible time to kill up close and a manageable time to kill at range. Something that I want to point out is that at extreme long ranges, this gun might require up to 3 bursts. This could be due to the damage drop-off or just recoil, but this is very hard to test without access to private matches. First on the list is reliability. Now, there is no way to make the M16 1 burst and done, but there is a way to make it a 2 burst all the time, and that's going to be with the 20.2 takedown barrel. There is simply nothing that compares to this barrel due to the fact that it will extend the base range by 100%, from that 25.4 meter range all the way up to 50.8 meters, meaning it's a for sure 1 burst up to that range, and that then it will drop off to a 2 burst. No more, no less. This gun is extremely reliable. A word of advice is that there are other barrels that look amazing, like the 16.3 titanium barrel that increases your fire rate by 25%, from my 909 rounds all the way to 1,132. Problem is that this only applies to the burst, not the delay. To me, and mind you, this is without testing, it feels like it does nothing for that burst delay. So you're not really shooting faster, your burst is just tighter. Problem with this barrel is that it's gonna murder your range, making that rare 3 burst kill more and more likely. Same thing with the 15.9 strike team barrel, a seductive little thing with a 14% damage boost from 50 to 57. Looks like a good choice on paper, but nothing after 50 with a 3-round burst matters. Doesn't matter if you're doing 150 damage or 300 damage. Either way, they're smashing the X to respawn. Next is accuracy and speed. I personally always try to prioritize accuracy over speed, because it doesn't matter how fast you are, if you cannot connect your shots, you might as well be rushing to your death. But it's the same deal as with the Type 63. If you want to keep up with the SMGs and the ARs of this game, we're going to need to speed it up. SMGs aim downside at 250 milliseconds, assault rifles at 300, and tactical rifles aim downside at a painful 350 milliseconds. So again, speed is going to take priority over accuracy. First attachment up is the Warden Tight Grip, with a 20% boost to our ADS, taking us from that E.M.P.eror slow 350 milliseconds down to 280, and an 80% reduction to flinch. That way, if we get shot during the gunfight, we'll stick to the target like Velcro. Only one con, negative 5% to our sprint out. Our new values are aim downside increase from 350 all the way down to 280, and a sprint out hit from 400 to 419. Next, we need to compensate for that hit that we took to our sprint out time with the buffer tube, boosting our sprint out by 30%. taking our sprint out from that 490 milliseconds down to 299 milliseconds for a total of 7.5 frames faster, and reducing our hipfire accuracy by 15%, which is negligible. If you are hip-firing a burst rifle, you have already gone too far, Bobby. Way too far. Now that we have sped up the gun as much as possible, let's take a look at our recoil. As you can see, the recoil goes up and bounces side to side. And since we can't readjust like we can with a semi-automatic, we need to tighten that up. And today, we got a taboo solution. Our first attachment is the compensator, giving us a 25% vertical recoil reduction and taking our vertical recoil variable from 390 to 292, but hurting our horizontal recoil from a negative 80 just a notch down to a negative 88. For those of you who don't know, recoil in Cold War works off an X and Y axis, with Y being the vertical and X being the horizontal. The higher the number on the Y axis, the more your gun will kick up. Meanwhile, on the X axis, if the number is negative, it will kick to the left, and if it's positive, it will kick to the right, with 0 meaning no horizontal recoil. The reason why we're not using the agency silencer for this build, or any silencer for that matter, is due to muzzle velocity. The regular silencer will reduce our muzzle velocity from 960 meters per second to 816 meters per second, and the agency will slow our bullets down to a screeching halt all the way down to 672 meters per second. The problem with both of these is that any hit we take to our muzzle velocity is going to allow more time for the enemy to get out of the burst, especially at range or if they're sprinting about. So we're gonna have to go loud and proud on this one. For our last attachment, we're going to be using the Field Agent Grip, a 10% boost to our vertical recoil, taking that variable from 292 to 253, and forgiving our past transgressions to our horizontal recoil by taking it from 88 all the way down to 48. And here's what our new recoil looks like. As always, with great attachments, we're going to lose something, a 10% hit to our strafing speed, which is minimal, from 8.1 miles per hour to 7.29 miles per hour. This is our all-rounder class setup. But just in case you're going to do some aggressive wet work, replace the compensator for the silencer. You'll lose some recoil control, but that way you'll be able to do more CQB work without telling everyone where you are. The muzzle velocity decrease won't matter, as you'll be close no matter what. Taking a look at our final stat sheet. Now, comparing that to our initial stat sheet, we are getting double the range from 25.4 meters to 50.8 meters, a sprint speed penalty from 10.26 miles per hour to 9.74 miles per hour. In the sprinter department, we are 100 milliseconds faster, from 400 milliseconds to 300 milliseconds. Our ADS as fast as possible, going from our slow 350 milliseconds down to 280 milliseconds. Our vertical recoil is significantly improved from 390 to 253, and our horizontal recoil variable goes from a negative 88 to a negative 48. Our flinch resistance is well behaved, taking the variable from a 10N to a 2N. I still don't know what that means. And we take a hit to our hip fire accuracy from 8.5 to 9.78. And this is what our M16 looks like. Oops. I made another perfect class again. If you enjoyed this episode of the DMR Loadout series and want me to cover another weapon, leave your recommendation down in the comment section. As of right now, I am currently working on the best setup for the hollow point round SMGs in Modern Warfare. So hit the subscribe button and turn your notifications on to get notified when that video goes live. If you have any questions, hit me up on Twitch, link in the description below. A like rating is always appreciated. Also, check out my other DMR loadouts. Well, that's all for me today. I'm MLJOR, and I thank you for watching.